Hello, I am Peter Lemke, and this is the Tech Report video for Prestige Worldwide for the technology transitions of an e-reader versus a softcover book. All right, so I'm going to start off by introducing my team members and introducing our jobs, and then I will talk more about the report. So on our team, we have Marco, who is in charge of executive summary along with ideas and presentation. We have David, who did video, research, and sensitivity and innovation. Aurora was in charge of the outline. Matthew did research, graphs, and figures. And then Blake did writing along with Excel programming. My job was to do the site visit along with photography. And some of these jobs didn't necessarily pertain to this tech report super well. For example, a cost-benefit analysis of something isn't going to really require a site visit, so that makes it kind of difficult. So what ended up happening was, even though we had these general ideas of what we were supposed to do, there was a lot of crossover in our help. For the study, we tried it out with two different readers. We have a heavy reader and a light reader. Our heavy reader reads one book a week, while our light reader reads one book a month. All right? So we assumed that this reader is going to live in the same place for each test. So we have them living in Tempe, a 10-mile round trip to the Barnes & Noble at Tempe Marketplace. We're going to assume, or the sales tax in Tempe is an 8.1%. And we're also going to account for the gas that it would take to drive there, because if you're driving 10 miles once a week, it's going to, it's going to add up. So we're assuming that the gas stays constant at about $2 per gallon, and our car is going to get 25 miles per gallon. All right, so we can add this into our cost for the classic softcover book. For our test, we decided to compare the softcover book against our two e-readers that we chose, the Nook from Barnes & Noble and the Kindle from Amazon. All right, and so all the books that we tested and collected our data on came from the New York Times bestsellers list. We went every single week and we would take the top book from that week and we would research that. If the book was on top of that list for 2 weeks straight, what we would do is we'd go down to take the second book off the list. All right. So when we tested for our heavy reader of 52 times over the year, so once per week, we had one data point per week, and we chose 12 of the most popular ones that we noticed as being on top for multiple weeks. We chose those for our light reader of 12 books a year. So when we did our comparison, what we did was we compared both the Nook versus the softcover and the Kindle versus the softcover. So that way, rather than have a cash flow diagram that was always pointed down for every single data point, what we'd rather have is we have that Kindle and Nook, they're going to have the high initial cost, but then most of the months they're going to have a savings. So that's why we chose to compare the Nook and the Kindle versus the softcover with our cash flow diagrams. After our one-year test of our e-reader and softcover, our conclusion is that for our heavy reader of 52 books per year, the e-reader is the way to go for them. And then specifically, we chose the Kindle. All right? The Kindle and the Nook are both very comparable to each other, but we chose the Kindle because it has more stability. Amazon's a bigger company that is doing better than Barnes & Noble is at the moment, and we think it's possible that the Nook could be dropped within the time that you're using it, and so it won't be supported necessarily. So that's why we think the Kindle is probably better off for you, so that way you don't have to invest in the future in something completely new. For the light reader of 12 books per year, we have come to the conclusion that the softcover is more financially beneficial for them because it would take up to 4 years of reading at that pace in order for you to really start getting your money back using the e-reader.